This first series of videos is going to walk you through how to properly, with best practices, set up a residential project based on the handouts that I gave you in class. So this is the first of the Residential Project 1 series videos. This is the project we're going to be working on, which is a small craftsman style house. First floor plan, second floor, and I've got a few elevations, and then we have a section to work with to help us with setting up levels. We are going to initially draw this house with just a first floor, and then we'll add the second floor afterwards. So we're going to ignore the second floor when we get this started, when we set up the project. So let's begin first by going to Revit. When you open up Revit, you're going to see projects that you worked on recently. Up here are projects, here are family files. And what we want to do is start a brand new project. But I want to begin with a basic template. So to start a new project, click on the New button and then browse actually for the residential default RTE file. Now, if you can't seem to find this, it is located on the C drive in Program Data, Autodesk, RVT 2016 Templates, US Imperial. And I will put together a list of these paths in case you have any trouble finding them. But it should automatically open for you. So I'm going to click on Residential Default and hit Open. You have a choice here to create a new project or to create a new project template. I want to choose Create a Project if I'm going to use this template to begin my project. If I want to use this template and modify it and turn it into a template file that I can use for future projects, then I could open this template as a project template. In order to not confuse anything, we're going to open this as a project file, and then later on, after we've kind of gone through a residential project, we're going to create a template file from that. So make sure that this says Create New Project and hit OK. All right, when you first open up Revit, you'll see that one of the important aspects is to have the project browser and the properties windows available to you, which are over here. If they happen to be turned off when you open up your project, it makes it a lot harder to open up different views of the project, and you can't modify anything without your properties window. So those things must be turned on and available. I know in other types of software you want as much drawing real estate as possible. That's not the case with Revit. We need those tools. So if you happen to accidentally close those, you can go to the View tab and you'll see a User Interface button, and we can turn those items I just turned off back on. So there's the project browser. Go right back in and pick Properties, and you can arrange these differently if you'd like. You can put one on one side and one on the other. I'm going to leave them the way that they are. Under Project Browser, the bold view is the one that's current, and because this is a brand new project, we don't have anything in here yet. These are elevation symbols. They're linked to the elevations that we have: east, north, southwest elevations. This is south, this is east, this is north, this is west. If I erase one of these, just decide to delete it, you'll see that it's going to give you a warning. It's going to delete south elevation, and now we no longer have a south elevation. So I'm going to undo that, bring it back. So you don't want to be deleting these things. These are linked to your elevations. There are ways to make it so that we don't see them in our view, and we'll get to that a little bit later. In addition to our views. Views are what we're able to see in a plan direction. So we have several views here that are linked with important elevations within our project. We also have some copied views that allow us to put some different disciplines on those views. We have basement electrical, first floor electrical. Now, we're going to go ahead and end up changing some of these, and we're going to get rid of the electrical and framing for this initial project. We'll go back and add them maybe later on when we get into the MEP portion of the class. But to make it easier to browse through these things, we're going to bring them down to a less lengthy list. If we scroll down, you'll see we have ceiling plans, which we usually don't have in a residential application. But you can erase these views, I believe. Let's see if we can delete them. Yep. And that way you're not accidentally selecting your ceiling plans. You see how when we do that, the ceiling plan category disappears. We have 3D views, which is going to be important for us to see the entire model. We have elevations, and if we go a bit further down, you have pre-made doors, windows, room, and lighting fixture schedules, and we have a whole bunch of sheets already kind of organized and set up for us. And then we get families and groups, which we're going to add to as we proceed with this setup. So what I'm going to do in the next video is I'm going to piece by piece show you how we're going to manipulate this initial setup to match our project. Okay, so we'll go ahead and do that in the next video.